The Portland Art Museum's transformation is complete. Their remodel added 100,000 square feet of new or upgraded public and gallery space. I've been, it looks amazing, and I know it's silly, but one of my favorite additions are actually the free lockers for all your stuff. Pam Cut is also screening movies every Sunday at 2 p.m. at the Witzel, which is awesome. I've missed that venue. And starting on Valentine's Day, the David Hockney exhibit is on view, which I'm so excited to see. If you haven't been to the new and improved Pam, go check it out. It's your art museum. Kids 17 and under are always free, and they're open Tuesday through Sunday. Hit up portlandartmuseum.org for more details. That's portlandartmuseum.org.
Diamore Law Group believes personal injury is about public safety, not just a settlement check. Led by veteran trial attorney Tom Diamore, with over 30 years of experience holding negligent drivers, corporations, and unsafe institutions accountable across Oregon. And clients pay nothing unless they win. If you or someone you love has been seriously injured, call 503-222-6333 or visit diamorelaw.com to schedule a free consultation.
Did you know the most popular shopping district in all of Portland is located in a very familiar strip in the southeast neighborhood of Richmond? According to data recently published by the Portland Business Journal, in the last 3 months of 2025, Hawthorne Boulevard saw something like 1.6 million visitors. It's almost double the visitors any other business district had in our city. And I know for sure one of those visitors was our executive producer, John Notarianni, who was probably there accidentally ordering a gallon of mini corn dogs from the Baghdad Theater. So today on CityCast Portland, we're revisiting our Richmond neighborhood guide where John spoke to Greg Raisman, who's lived there for over 20 years. Greg knows all the best spots and has some pretty interesting history to share as he also works for Peabot, creating public plazas and street art all over our city. It's Monday, February 9th. I'm Claudia Meza, and this is what Portland's talking about.
Greg, today we are talking about your neighborhood. We're here to talk about Richmond, which is an area that I think most people know, but they might not know it by the neighborhood name. So before we get into some specific spots to check out, what are the boundaries of Richmond?
Technically, the boundaries of Richmond are generally from about 29th Avenue to 52nd Avenue and between Hawthorne and Powell. Mm-hmm. So it includes Division Street, the awesome Clinton Neighborhood Greenway, Powell, and Hawthorne. It's technically just the south side of the street on Hawthorne, but I'm sorry, I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm probably going to cheat a lot, actually, during this conversation.
We can sort of play fast and loose with the boundaries of exactly where it ends, because this is your neighborhood. So give me your best pitch. Give me, why Richmond is awesome and what you love about living there.
Well, first of all, I can walk to everything. We actually didn't even own a car for 6 years. Yeah. Within 15 minutes, we can grocery shop, be entertained, go to the library, eat food, drink beer, smoke weed, everything in our neighborhood is just right there. And, taking a bike ride in our neighborhood is just incredible. It's also a great place to take a walk. There's tons of gardens and, when it's fruit season, there's all sorts of trees that you could just have a snack from. The food scene, as somebody with a budget that's too small and a belly that's too big, is a real problem. Just so many options, the Baghdad Theater, Powell's Books, and so on and so forth. So I'd need the whole podcast to make the case for my neighborhood because we've lived here since 2002, and I cannot imagine living in a place I would love more.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Portland is a big place and there's all sorts of different neighborhoods and identities to it. But when you think about the most Portland, when you think about shops and restaurants and walkability and all of that, in my imagination, Richmond and those two stretches of Division and Hawthorne are kind of the platonic ideal of the most Portland of Portland. You know what I mean?
I think it's more sexy than platonic, but I totally agree with you.
So we've talked about the positives and everything you love about it, but I want to know a little bit more about your personal Richmond gripes. Can't all be, sunshine and roses. What are the things that bug you?
So, like, first of all, I live near a busy street with a lot of pedestrians, and that means there are a lot of canvassers. Anytime I take a walk, could stop every third block and talk to somebody that wants to tell me about the great work they're doing and take my money and also take some time. And so it's pretty constant and definitely something that isn't fun, especially when they're really aggressive and start jumping in your way and those kind of things. The second thing is a specific spot. The front of Fred Meyer's on Hawthorne is absolutely awful.
Okay, specific.
The sidewalks are really narrow. There's a ton of pedestrians, there's utility poles, but even more so, the front of the building is just but ugly. There's no windows. There's display cases for half the block that don't have anything in them. There are these grids of chicken wire that probably at one point were thought to be places to grow vines on, but they never put in planters. And when it rains, it's particularly bad because the way that their stormwater works is all the water from the roof comes down and makes this giant, like whitewater style waterfall that goes over the sidewalk, and it splashes everywhere and it makes giant puddles, and you like scurry through as fast as possible so you don't have to be in the lane, but you also don't want to get that cold water on you. Fred Meyer's needs some work is what I'm saying.
That is such a local's gripe because, like, I've been in that area and I've been like, oh, it's Powell's, it's the Baghdad Theater. And look, there's a Fred Meyer right here. It's so nice. And I just move on. But you've been there enough times to recognize every little thing that bugs you about it. Anything else that bugs you?
Yeah, the price of housing is kind of insane. As a whole city, we haven't built enough affordable homes, especially homes for families. And this neighborhood is kind of ground zero for that. So we need to do a lot of work to make our ability to buy a home or to rent a livable spot easier in our community. It's just so good, and we need to share it with more people.
Well, we've got a lot more to talk about, but first, let's take a quick break.
Pivot Portland Management wants to remind you that the Winter Light Festival is coming back to downtown February 6th through the 14th, and it's absolutely free. If you've not been, you gotta go check it out, at least once. It's a citywide celebration of public art, creativity, and community. And this year, some incredible artists will be featured in a few of Pivot Properties buildings. If you head over to pdxwlf.com, you'll find a map of all the light installations on view. Like last year, there was a massive actual fire-breathing dragon sculpture near the waterfront. It was such a spectacle. Pivot is a big supporter of our downtown district and its vibrant community, and they encourage you to explore all it has to offer. So bundle up, head downtown, and experience the Portland Winter Light Festival. You can learn more about Pivot at pivotportland.com. That's pivotportland.com.
Well, let's talk about if you're bringing someone in, a visitor who wants to come and get to know Richmond. Like, where would you take someone new to the area?
I'm going to be a cheating cheater here because I can't just pick like a couple spots. So you asked me for three things. Thing one is take a walk down Hawthorne. Stop in whatever shops or restaurants that my guest is interested in. We go to the Baghdad, a theater that was built in the 1920s by Universal Studios. It's just gorgeous with 2 bars, one for people watching and one for being in a 3-story room with giant tapestries and chandeliers and shuffleboard and all that. There's thrift shopping. There's eating at all sorts of places. We can get beer at Steeplejack, going to nice stores like Presence of Mind or Quarter World to play some games. It just keeps going when you're walking down Hawthorne Boulevard. Now, my second activity
okay, number 2
is to walk down Division. And again, too many things to mention, but Panolo Gelato on 38th is a gelato shop that needs to get more love because it's an Italian guy that's like 3rd generation gelato maker that like gets his stuff from Italy. It's just phenomenal. There's all these really traditional Italian flavors to check out. Little Beast Brewing on 34th is phenomenal. Next to the best desserts, Loretta Jean's for pie, Salt and Straw, the Boulangerie, Saint Honore, Blue Star Donuts, and so on. You could really gain a lot of weight at that intersection there at 34th. And then the third thing is to take a bike ride on Clinton. to 26th Avenue, just a little bit outside the neighborhood, for $1 oysters at happy hour at Jacqueline, brunch at Broder, and or taking a show at the Clinton Street Theater, which has the longest running Rocky Horror Picture Show in the West Coast.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyhow, yeah. So there's my 3/30 things that I would do with somebody visiting.
Greg, with that list, I am recognizing our folly by trying to like ask you to summarize all of these things, because so many things in that list are like also among my favorite stuff in Portland, right? Like the backstage bar that you mentioned at the Baghdad is one of the most breathtaking places I've ever been in the city. I mean, dollar oysters at Jacqueline, come on, like the best. So much good stuff.
Oh my gosh. And like, I didn't even mention the Pizza Shoals, the new food carts on 42nd and Hawthorne. I mean, again, we could do the whole episode just on like 3 blocks, I think.
All right, well, let's focus in on like specific activity then. Like, let's say you, Greg, you're taking your wife out on a date in the neighborhood. Like, where would you go on the perfect date?
So this is our 25th wedding anniversary this year. I love my wife so dearly.
Aww.
Anywhere I go with her is magic because I'm a dork like that. But I'd say that we love people watching on Hawthorne. A lot of times we'll, go and just sit at a coffee shop and do that, or sit at a restaurant with outdoor seating and do that. A prime place to do that is at the Hawthorne Theater. The bar that they have that's right along Hawthorne has great watching. We'd like to go eat. We'd eat something nice, maybe at 3 doors down now that they're opened again, and kind of need to check them out. And we play a ton of board games. I mean, we have like over 150 board games in our house, and we're really excited because there's a new place opening up on 50th and Division where the Green Zebra used to be, Capes and Crepes, which will be a cafe and very large game store where you can hang out and play games and eat crepes and other great things. We're really excited to go have a date and check that one out.
Okay, I just pulled up their website, and have you seen their mascot? It is like a little cartoon crepe wearing a cape.
Yes.
With like dice in its head.
Heck yeah, welcome to Portland, man.
Just sort of jauntily walking down the street with it looks like boba in his hand. This looks awesome.
Yes. It's going to be really great. I can't wait.
What about the locals? Like, where are the people who've been living there for as long as you have hanging out?
Well, there's this area called the Bermuda Triangle, which is at 50th and Hawthorne. And there's a number of really great bars there, like Space Room and Bar of the Gods and Sapphire Hotel and Quarter World. I mean, you can wander from great bar to great bar there, and a lot of people do. Common Grounds Coffee Shop on Hawthorne and 43rd. You just feel like you're stepping back in time into this like 90s cafe with all little tables. They got newspapers on a stick that people can just read, and a lot of people hang out there. And then Sewell Crest Park is a small park south of Hawthorne, and a lot of people bring their dogs there to play. It's a wonderful gathering spot. And then also, there's like softball and kickball and all that as well. But as a dog walker and owner, that's our kind of home away from home.
I'm looking at this corner, Bermuda Triangle. I know that area. I've never heard it called that before. And it totally makes sense because it's kind of a weird turn of the road. And then there's a bunch of bars right there.
You can get lost.
I love Space Room in like the heat of summer when it's like 100 degrees out, because you walk in there and it is like so dark and air conditioning. It feels like you're going into an underground bar bunker.
Well, you are, there's there's like sunken like round tables, and like that step down to the bar just feels so like dank, and divey.
Yeah.
And then of course the space theme, there's just Martians everywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a great place to hang out.
Yeah. And a Pizza Shoals is right there too.
Yes. Also a great place to hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's trouble.
Well, before we wrap up, is there anything else that you want to mention about Richmond? Like, what's on your short list of people need to know this about my neighborhood that you might not already know?
Well, I went a little bit historic in thinking about this one. So Hawthorne's original name was Asylum Avenue because the state's first mental hospital was on Hawthorne, and was later named after J.C. Hawthorne, who was the doctor that started the hospital. It's a great example of a streetcar neighborhood. So, Portland started downtown. Eventually, it kind of gets built up. There starts to be some money. And those folks are like, I want to live someplace where there's more space and nicer and all that. So they built a streetcar across the river into our neighborhood. everywhere there was a streetcar stop, they'd have a merchant and then more merchants. And all those little streetcar stops are now our commercial districts around our city, with the residential behind. And Hawthorne is one of the oldest examples of that. Division's one of the oldest examples of that. Belmont is. So it's a great place to just understand the fabric of how we've come together as a place and a city.
That's so interesting. So you mentioned about the asylum. That makes so much sense with the Hawthorne Asylum food cart pod, which I'm guessing is outside of your neighborhood. But I always thought that was like, that's kind of a weird name for a food cart pod. That's kind of like weirdly aggressive, but whatever, I'll go with it. I didn't realize that there's that history associated with it too.
Yes, supporting the historic fabric of our neighborhood by eating po' boys.
Hey man, what else is there to do in Portland other than go for a walk, eat something good, have a drink, watch people? I mean, that's what it's all about, right?
That's exactly right. Yes. Love this city.
Oh, well, Greg, thanks for walking us through Richmond, your neighborhood, and like everything that's there. I mean, I feel like we just so barely scraped the surface of everything that is going on in that neighborhood. So we'd also love to hear from all of you out there listening. Like, what are your favorite spots in Richmond? Like, what are the places that you're hanging out as well? If you could shoot us an email at portland@citycast.fm, and we can keep that conversation going. But yeah, Greg, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Well, that's all for today here on CityCast Portland, but thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed the show, why not tell one of your friends about it or leave us a rating or a review? We'll be back tomorrow with more from around the city. Until then, see you at Slim's.